I'm Amanda Parisher, and I want to show you how you can make EdTech work for you in less than 5 minutes. Today I want to show you a great resource for your one-to-one classroom. You can use this in math or in English, and I usually use this in both. You can also use this in any kind of humanities class or science class. Anywhere where you want to share content with student devices and gather information from students in the form of polls or quizzes or draw some things. And this great resource is called Nearpod. What Nearpod does is take the content that you've created and push it out to student devices. Then, as you move to the next slide, all student devices automatically move to the next slide. You can start out with a PowerPoint or PDF that you've already created, and then add in other engaging content. It keeps everyone on the same page. Nearpod is a free app, and they do have some paid accounts as well, but if you go to nearpod.com, you can sign up for a free teacher account. Once you've created your account and logged into the website, you can see that you can search through the store. They do have some free Nearpods, or you can create your own Nearpod. Let's click Create first. You can create a Nearpod presentation from any PDF document or JPEG. You can see here I have a bunch that I use in Algebra 2, and I have some that I use in English. Let's create a new presentation together. I'm going to tell you this is going to take a little bit more than 5 minutes of your day, but I think it's really worth it in the time you'll save working on this during class. So you're going to upload a PDF or a PowerPoint to get started. It assumes that each page is one slide. If you're doing this in math, what you might want to do is to make a PDF of your PowerPoint with the builds. So I added in this PDF that I got from the publisher for Algebra 2. And let's see some of the things that I can actually add to this. So what Nearpod's going to do is it's going to show this slide on every single device. So when a student logs in, they're going to put their PIN in for this presentation, and they're going to see exactly what I have on the screen. And as I flip through the slides in my iPad, they're going to slide through the slides on theirs. I can also add in some other interesting content. So let's click on Add here. So I could add content here, like slides, video, or audio, or a slideshow. I could add web content. This is a feature as a free trial for a limited time. You'd have to subscribe to their advanced features to be able to continue to do that. Or you can add an activity. I think the activities are where Nearpod is going to really stand out from any other software like this. So you can see I have 4 options for different activities I can add. A poll lets you ask a question and have students select from multiple choice answers. An open-ended question lets students write in text. A quiz allows students to answer a few questions and be marked right or wrong for their answers. And a draw it allows students to use their finger or stylus on their tablet to draw something either on a blank canvas or on top of an image. Let's try adding a draw it. Simply drag your image in and add in your draw instructions. In math, I often put a sample problem in and allow students to draw right on it. So here you can see I added in the JPEG, which is a screenshot of a problem I want students to complete. I'm now going to click Save, and it's going to add this draw something. It adds it all the way to the bottom, and you can see this is a really long presentation with the build, so I'm going to have to go in and erase some of these slides. So this is what students are going to see. They're going to be able to draw right on this screen, and then they're going to be able to push the Submit button. Now, as the teacher, I'll be able to see each person's submissions. So I'll be able to see the answers that everyone has drawn. And I can choose 1 or 2 to share with the rest of the group. And when I push Share, I'll be sending that back out to all the devices. So then we can take a look at what someone has written or drawn and analyze if they're correct or not. You can also add open-ended questions to check for student understanding, like what questions do you still have as we go forward? or asking students to find a definition. This way, you'll be able to see all the answers on your screen and get a good sense of how your class is performing in real time. Some of the pros to Nearpod is that it can really decrease student distraction and increase student engagement. My students in 10th grade and in 8th grade both really like it. It helps students who are shy and maybe choose not to participate because they can draw something right on their iPad and not have to come up to the board. As a teacher, it also alerts you in the top left corner subtly to know how many students are still in your Nearpod presentation. If I start out with 12 students and one student closes Nearpod and opens up their email, the 12 will turn red and become 11. And now I'll know that someone isn't paying attention or isn't on the presentation that we're on. At the end, you can click on Reports and see a report of how students performed throughout that entire presentation. You'll be able to see all their answers, all their draw somethings, all their responses to polls or to quizzes. Some of the cons or downfalls to your Nearpod are that there aren't too many great free resources in the library. There are some good paid resources created by publishers, and there are some really, really, really great Nearpods, but they still don't have quite as extensive a library as I would like. The other thing is I do find their content editor just a little bit hard to use at times. Sometimes I'll move slides around and they'll jump back to a different place. And you can only edit this content on a computer. You can't edit your presentations on your iPad. You can present from your computer or from your iPad, but you're limited in where you can create your Nearpod presentations. Thanks for watching today's Techie Teacher.